So today I want to speak to you about empathy. What's empathy? Empathy comes from emotions. What's emotions? Do we know emotions? What's emotions? Feelings, right? So they tell you, take away your emotions. Eh? We want to work with facts. I think we say that every day. The facts speak for themselves. No. Thinking and facts is like if you woke up and you didn't put on anything and you came running here and we find you working. Just imagine 5, 6 of you just naked coming to work. What do you think we would speak about you? And some of you have very interesting sizes, so I don't know how you... It would be very, very weird. So let's assume thinking and facts are you not dressed. Feelings is the clothing for thinking. How you dress, how you prepare is your emotions. Because emotions can tell you, I look at this person, I have a sense of love. I'm attracted to them. Love has many levels, as you understand. Maybe I should use the word like. But when I say love, I hope you understand. There's filial love, there's agape love, many forms of love. Or you can see someone and say, I feel a sense of contempt. I don't like them. But the person has not spoken. Have you ever felt that? I don't like this guy. The way he looks, the way he talks, he's a bad guy. What is that is switching things? It's your emotions. Okay? Emotions are also very important because they show you, am I moving to my goals or am I moving far away from the goals? So these things are connected, box 1 and box 3. For you to be able to deal with box 1 and box 2 and box 3, you need to understand your thinking and your feelings. You have to be empathetic because nobody runs box 1 alone. Are you working alone in box 1 today? You have to work together in order to produce box number 3. How can I work with Brenda if I have no empathy about what she might be going through or how she interprets her being here? Because I have seen people who come here day 1 and they just don't know who to talk to, or if they are talking to people and people are thinking I'm busy, I'm doing my own things, and I realize that if we apply that method to the customers outside, who are our customers? The institutions we deal with, the citizens of Uganda. I find that some of you are scared of picking a phone and say, I'm calling you on behalf of this, I'm doing that. It's because we do not have a sense of empathy and therefore we've not managed our feelings and we don't understand our emotions. We may have all the facts. You can even read a script when you're calling, but that's not enough. You have to learn to deal with people who you don't like or who don't like you. That's a sense of growth. Okay, so very quickly, why is empathy or thinking and feeling difficult? So I was checking over the weekend, and that's why I thought, let me share these things with you, because some things we are born with them, and unless someone helps us see them, so there are 4 mental architectures. Do we know the meaning of the word architecture? The building. The building has a plan, how it's set up. So there are 4, let me call them defensive architectures that we are born into, that sometimes if we don't disrupt ourselves, box number 3. Remember? Box number 3 requires that you disrupt your thinking. So these 4 mental architectures, I was studying them over the weekend and I thought, I have seen some of them with people and they may not know them. So sharing them with you might even help you understand who you are. So number 1, avoidance. Avoidance. If I write, I'll take a lot of time. Avoidance. So avoidance is based on fear of being hurt. Relationships suck. I tried to be friends with King George. he rejected me, or she so and so rejected me, and therefore I want to reduce my relationships, reduce my emotions. I want to be self-sufficient. I don't need help. I am not going to rely on anyone. I will not ask Brenda for help, even if I could, but I won't. Right? What if she says no? Instead, people should rely on me. Sometimes I'll be positively, relentlessly positive to hide my vulnerability. I just show that, I'm the most active, but I'm hiding something. Huh? Because I'm avoiding contact with being hurt. And now hurt can be many things. It can be in a relationship. It can be at your workplace. It can be with your siblings, and you are carrying it here, and we don't know. It can be with your mother and father, and you are carrying it in the office. Huh? I think I have noticed some avoiders. Huh? So when I say these things, check yourself, okay? So why do I avoid? I don't want to be hurt again, and therefore this is not my area. This is for category, former LC5 chairman of Kamuli. They are the ones who know how to lie. They are politicians. Me, I can't lie. I avoid. Am I speaking about someone you know? You are all just quietly. So that's number one. Number two is called deprivation. Deprivation. Don't want to write. Take a lot of time. So deprivation is I was raised by self-centered caregivers or parents. They knew how to drive nice cars. They knew how to dress very well. But I didn't matter. So these are things that are lodged in year 7, year 5, year 9, year 10, and they show up when you are 25, 30, and you don't know it. Huh? So the caregivers showed that my needs don't matter. Therefore, when I grow up, I'm on my own. I fix my own things. So I have met a number of corrupt government officials who I go back and study and say, okay. By the way, if I check your home, your parents' home, how you grew up, huh? I can read about 30% of who you are today. So I'm not talking about you. So let me tell you my example. I grew up in a home. Many of you have heard me speak about this. Very modest means. Parents who are, the word poor for them did not factor. They were poor, but they rejected the sign of poverty because they worked hard with their hands. They lived light. They lived as if Jesus will come tonight. So they don't want to hurt anyone. Maybe there was a bit of avoidance, or they will do the things that really matter to them. Now, when I was maturing, I met an organization called The Movement. And the movement said, everyone matters. Your religion, we don't care. Your tribe, we don't care. So you may find that small, but when you are young going to university, and there is an organization that says, we don't care whether you are UPC or DP as long as individual merit matters. You're smart, you're good with people, we don't care about your party. Now, when I went to university, year 1, I met a friend called Adonia Tverondwa, who had been a UPC minister. At that time, to go and meet Tverondwa in his home, and you are a kid like me, and he's UPC, and you have all these, and Adonia helped me understand reconciliation. He said, we are all the same. That President Museveni, we know him. You don't know him. You're a kid. So that shaped my growing up, my politics, and then when I started reading, I read biographies. Huh? I encourage you to read biographies. Biographies transport you into the lives of people you will never see, but you know everything about them. They teach you how people faced situations and dealt with them. They make you empathetic. So, now, was I a deprived child? No. But my background was that my parents taught me hard work, and therefore sometimes If I ask some of you, 11 o'clock I can call you, midnight I can call you. What am I doing working at midnight? So it has a downside. You must stop work at some stage. Eh? Life is not about work, it's more. But to not work is to be lazy. To be lazy is, I didn't find that in our home. Not at all, not at all. So, self-centered parents who showed that the needs of the child don't really matter. A child now is on their own when they grow. And guess what? I found out they have unworthy feelings. Huh? I seem to see flaws in my life because care was limited. Eh? There is a deeper critic in you who won't let you be. How come I don't fit in? Well, because your needs did not matter to the first people that your eyes and your mind and heart met. Eh? So they grow up, I grow up, and I get married. And the wife leaves me and they say, no, it's my fault. I'm a bad husband. Or the husband cheats and they say, it's my fault. I am not a good wife. Because something happened, you have feelings of unworthiness. I have seen old people respond to those feelings because someone has not talked to them about this. That's number what? Running out of time. Number what? So am I speaking to someone here? You understand? So how do you go to box number 3 if you don't address those things? Now, 8 hours you are here. If you don't have empathy to each other and share deeply, how are you going to raise $6 billion? If you can't ask Sonia, what's wrong with you? What are you going through? Remember, for you to ask Sonia, there must be a particular level of comfort. But how do you build comfort? Empathy. Empathy builds trust. Trust brings creativity. Creativity creates teamwork. Huh? So I'm not sharing with you stuff just that is off air. It's very important, especially you young people in the days of social media. Everyone wants to look good on social media, but inside is a rattle. They're going through terrible things. But they never, so they take pictures of food, share. They take pictures of, see me here. But if you ask, they are hollow. That's why they're insulting. That's why I reach out to those who insult me, because in front of you, they are like a cat. Because they don't know you. You don't know how they were raised. Your work as a leader is to ensure that those who criticize you don't walk the opposite way, walk to them. You are not walking with them to support you or to like you. No. To heal them, because by healing them, their flaws, you heal yourself. You demonstrate to others that there is nothing we cannot confront. How can you talk about 6 billion if you cannot talk about what's the issue with Alan? What's the issue with Kagonyere? 6 billion? TFF? No, you are lying. Box number 3, you are lying. First deal with those things. So let's go to number 3. It is called overreactivity. Overreactivity. What is overreactivity? So a child is threatened when they are young. Huh? You? Now, me who grew up really in a peasant family, my father, I can count when he ever beat me. Maybe once, but it must have been something horrible I did. So he used few words. One day, I used a bad word on a cow, and he overheard it, and he called me. And he said, a cow? You insulted a cow? Now, to many of you, you don't even think it makes sense. Yeah? He said, that cow you insult gives you milk. That cow you insult pays your school fees. Yeah? That cow you insult is a creature created by God. Yeah? Son, never insult an animal God created. So if you can't insult an animal, can you insult a human being? He's just telling you some values, and that stuck with me. So, but my mother, she beat me once in a while. Beat you? Why are you delayed getting water from the well? Not always, but as mothers, they are closed in. Eh? Those of us who are parents know. Fathers are a bit off, mothers are closed in. They see the teeth, the nails which are not cut, if they are serious mothers. Okay? So he would beat you and sometimes say some things that eventually in her she would regret, but as a parent she would not tell you. There are children who are abused when they are young, they are threatened, and they think the world is dangerous when they become mature. They have a very high emotional threat detection system. See? Friend or enemy. They approach everything from a point of fight or fright. Okay? Whenever you talk to them and there is a sense of ambivalence, this issue is not resolved. They see that as menacing. You know the word menacing? He wants to punch me, or he doesn't like me. Now, they see neutral faces, but for them they see hate. No, it's a neutral face. Man does not like. They see anger where there is no anger. They lash out, and they don't understand why. I don't know if you've met people like that. Huh? They are angry all the time, lashing out. Huh? Why are you lashing out? Well, overreactivity, which comes from that background. Huh? Number 4, the final one of those templates that I think you should carry and start asking, where do I belong? Okay? Number 4 is called passive aggression. Passive aggression is a very indirect expression of anger. It's actually repressed anger. You are angry against your parents, what they did not fix. You're angry against friends for really not hanging out with you. Or, you know, among friends, there's one who wants to control, right? Why is he controlling me? She. Okay? You're angry about your siblings. You sidestep direct communication. You avoid confrontation. You avoid conflict. You have trouble dealing with negative emotions. And you know what? You turn this aggression, passive aggression, into a subtle power play. You manipulate others so that they feel guilty and they like you. I manipulate you so that there's a sense of affection. All these emotions are happening, but you don't know them. So, let me just give you an example. So think of a young lady, boyfriend. The lady says, I want to go this weekend and be with my friends. Right? Yeah, of course. Now, I know your friends. Just go hang out. So when it comes to Friday, he starts to have, you're going? Who are you going with? But we agreed that I'm going to hang out with my friends. Okay, so he begins to withdraw. Now what have I done? I asked. I'm just using boyfriend and girlfriend. This could be husband and wife. This could be office politics. We agreed that I am the one who is going to be in Hoima. Now what has happened? Why is Nkahewa the one there? But they don't tell you. So now, eventually, this boyfriend doesn't want the girl to go, or if she goes, he wants to make her feel guilty and selfish for leaving him and going over the weekend when they should be together. But he does not speak about it. It is passive aggression. Huh? Both men and women do that. Huh? So what helped us in our home, in my parents' home? So my mother was born out of wedlock. Huh? To be born out of wedlock in the 30s, and then you get born again at the age of 8. But your mother has said, no, this is not your father. So you can imagine a young lady going through all these emotions, and then she meets this husband whose dedication was, I will serve God, I'll build a bulwark around my family, I don't care what the world thinks of me. So my wife, let's go dig together. My father used to climb a tree to read a Bible, that he wants to be close and hear the Holy Spirit. So they built a framework that gave the 7 children emotional safety, comfort, even in poverty. But, you know, that's my father, that's my mother, right? So when you grow older like me now, you have a sense of respect for people who didn't go to school, but they were attached to something higher than them, which is God, my family. And they used those two to serve their country by bringing up children. Not everyone is different. I'm different from my siblings. If you meet my sisters, they're different. But there is a sense of there's a boundary, man. You don't speak like that. You don't answer someone like that. Huh? You don't get entangled in something like that. You don't, you found one child, one husband, one wife. You can't marry a second wife, never. You can't. There are things which are ingrained in me that I see them in my head, and I'm hoping perhaps they are good and our own children can take them on. Huh? So, I'm just using my own example so that you don't think I'm talking about you. So how do we, I want to close now. So do we understand those 4 architectures? So let me tell you, people can be 80 and they are dealing with issues of 7-year-olds. Go check the interviews of people who have succeeded in their 70s and 80s. They end with, I hope my father looks at me and he feels proud of me. Man, you are 80 years old. The father, it means that something there. He's trying to impress if he's a man. Or if a woman had trouble with their mother and they don't like their mother, it's called matrophobia. We can speak of change, but we don't like change. We like comfort. We can think of disruption, but we like consistency. We can think of exercise, but we like to sleep more. We can think of eating healthy, but that chicken, man, is fantastic. Huh? We are the opposite of what we want. Huh? So it takes effort and teamwork. And young people gathering to work at PACEID who came to just get a salary and work, to find a wellspring of wisdom, because you can pay to get knowledge, but you will never pay to get wisdom. A man or woman can give you knowledge, but they'll never give you what? Wisdom. That's why I want these small disruptions. Let's talk. Let's deal with these other issues, because the bigger issues, we will not defeat them. We will not handle them. They will defeat us if we don't deal with the smaller ones. Huh? So, how do you, therefore, deal with the question of, so we said empathy is thinking, is emotion, thinking, feeling, go together. So how do I understand what Magambo is going through? 3 things. First is called mirroring, like a mirror. Mirroring. Huh? You should seek to see Magambo and reenact the emotions of Magambo, attune to Magambo's breathing pattern, the sitting posture, his gestures, in order to understand what ails Magambo. Because you don't inhabit his world. Yet you want him to help you with digitization.
So now can we say probably stomach?
So when we're in Hoima, I, in a spontaneous manner, something came to my mind. I saw Rowena Twesige standing at the corner of my eye, and something said, call her. Just call her and come, and she speaks to this Banyoro, because she can't speak Runyoro, she can't speak Runyachitara, and she speaks the British English. So I said, you come and speak. What I was trying to do to her is to say, I see that you want to be wherever we are. I see that you want to be a member of the team. And maybe we are not picking you very well. We have not had deeper empathy with you. We are worried about some other things. How does someone sit Saturday? But this person, Saturday might be secondary if they fit in a train or in a bus that is moving, that wants to generate change. So, I mean, I cannot judge what she said, but she spoke in her English, and I could see the Banyoro, tumwetegerize, okay. But for me, it was less about them, more about her, to try and pull her from behind and say, come and, because Bagonza could speak good Lunyoro, he can, so I was looking for someone different. So that's called mirroring. Try and inhabit the space of this person in order for you to be able to help them. They may never have qualified at university. They may have even falsified their documentation, but they are with you here. Your work is to help them and pick the skill they have and mature them.